Thank you, Madam Speaker. Speaking to the motion.
Delegate Miyares, you have the floor.
I just wanted to point out a couple things that I think the chamber should, understand as we process this one. I think everybody should realize that the same Fourth Circuit that overturned the previous maps will have the potential to overturn any map that's drawn by anybody, no matter what happens with this substitute or anyone else. I do feel like everybody in this chamber that ran this past year and has run in subsequent years for ending gerrymandering, it's easy when you get in front of civic leagues and whatever to say, that's the easy part to say, I don't want politicians picking their legislators. Nobody here ran when they got in front of a civic league or knocking on door to door, said, vote for me, I'll end gerrymandering in 2030. Nobody did. I think there's 30 plus of us that were not even in this chamber in 2011 when that last map got passed. And in 2017, when my party had a 65 seat plus majority, and I was on privilege as an election, as it was alluded to, and I voted twice for redistricting reform. I remember getting called into a leadership individual's office, and I remember getting read the Riot Act. And I remember Madam Speaker saying, there's only one person on this planet who has the ability or has the right to speak to me like that, and that's my mother. And you're not her. I often think, Madam Speaker, when all of us sit in this chair, and then one day someone else will sit in your chair. And I oftentimes like to come here to the Capitol at night and see the photos on the bottom level. And I look through, and so many of them are faceless names. We don't know who they are. They had dreams, hopes, aspirations, and they came to this body, hopefully, to leave a mark. And the reality is, for the vast, vast majority of all of us in 25 or 30 years, no one else will know that probably you ever sat in this seat. And I think in some ways that's a healthy thing. I remember when I was running for the House of Delegates, I had 2 previous opportunities and had said no, because at the end of the day, being a dad is a heck of a lot more important than being a delegate. And I remember having a conversation with someone that I respect enormously, and they said, why in the world would you ever want to get involved in politics? Politicians just say what people want to hear. They say what they need to get elected. They break promises. It is a broken system. The hyper-partisanship, the yelling, it is such a broken system. And I remember having the conversation with precisely for the reasons you cited, because it's broken. All of us in this room got in for similar reasons. I have such respect for people on both sides of the aisle. I know how hard all of us work to try to do the right thing. We come with so many different philosophies, and people have these very different experiences in their life than mine. But ultimately, every person in this seat got in because they felt like the system's broken. And what I would say is, voting for this substitute means the system that's broken continues for another decade. And so I would just ask, give the voters a voice, and let's try to fix a broken system. Thank you.